I grew up with paper, so I mean, paper is always preferred. But obviously, like with the digital file, it doesn't get destroyed. You can undo. Everything has its pros and cons.
Now you've heard about other tablets, right?
Yeah.
Other types of tablets. Where did this one come? Different or better or worse, or how does it differ from the other ones?
I guess like my favorite one would be the Cintiq, and that's like the, I guess, overpriced but more professional one. I mean, because I like to like draw right on the screen.
Right.
And the Cintiq,
just like on paper, right?
Yeah, the Cintiq kind of like gives you those options to just like, draw right on the screen.
But can you take Cintiq anywhere?
That's the thing. You can't take Cintiq anywhere. You're stuck in a studio or at your home.
Right. I mean, they do have Cintiq smaller version, like 11 inch or something, or 10 inch.
Yeah, or like.
But it's probably not as thin as this one.
Yeah, this one's really thin. It's nice. I mean, there's some pros and cons with all of them, I would say. But it's got a nice feel to it, for sure.
What can you tell about the texture of the surface that you're drawing on?
The texture right now is kind of like brand new, so it's a little rough.
Does it feel like paper?
No, not at all. It's like a hard plastic.
But no, I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's not too slippery. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, it's got a nice grip on it.
Drag, yeah.
It's brand new, like, so it's still, I think you would have to break it in a little. This is pretty nice. I mean, like, how much does it cost?
How much is the maximum you would pay for something like this? I mean, what would be your most...
Well, I would probably spend... See, the Graphire is like $250.
Okay.
So I would have to pay a little less.
Because of the fact that it's got a cable.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would pay $200.
$200.
Yeah.
This is a $350 unit. Now, do you think it's overpriced?
Well, the technology.
I mean, is it worth it for what it offers in terms of reliability? That the cord is always there, and it's it doesn't give you this lag or
Right. It's worth it. I mean, it's a little tiny bit overpriced. Not overpriced, but it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say overpriced because, it is worth it. The technology works. I love the dynamics of the pen tool. It's worth it. I mean, like, if I had a studio, I would definitely buy a couple of these, a couple of Cintiqs. Probably like...
Cintiqs or
Cintiqs.
Or the Intuos? You would rather go with the Cintiq?
If I had a studio.
Right.
But if I had like a laptop and I just like want to go out to a park and like draw.
Right.
Yeah, like this is worth $300, $250, and a really good deal like $200. Obviously, like the pencil feels more natural. Like I
Do you find that you have more control on paper?
Yeah, I definitely feel way more control on the paper. But the Wacom's close. Like,
Wow.
I mean, the texture for the paper feels way better. But like the pen feel for, the Wacom is very much the same as the pencil feel. So, I mean, it all depends. Like I said before, I think with practice, the Wacom feel will become like identical to the pencil, but it's just slightly more indirect. Like you're not really like drawing down vertically.
Do you believe artists would, because of the fact that they already learned how to draw on paper, they would be less prone to adapt the new technologies? They would have to be more technical before they are artists. You know what I mean?
Right. I think it depends.
Do you believe, or any typical artist who has always, all his life has been drawing on paper, right? Do you believe they will be easier to adapt to the digital workflow compared to?
I think it depends on the artist. I really do. Some artists are more, like, I guess right-brained. Other ones are more right, like left-brained or.
Yeah, like left-brained meaning technical, right?
Yeah, and I think that if artists are disciplined enough they want to make money in modern day, they'll try to approach more digital means.
But doesn't it save more time using digital approach? Like think about the workflow.
Yeah,
I'm
there
saying
are
in a sense, with the paper, right? What are the steps that, like, say, everything nowadays is all about putting it online, or put it in the Flash, Flash animation. Things like that, and very rarely, there's anything happening as far as print goes. Everything's going online nowadays because of the gadgetry and all that. Now, do you find yourself using paper approach, which is like 19th-20th century, right? And using the steps that you have to accomplish in order to get this print online, like in digital format.
Right.
You have to scan it first, right?
Scanning can be a process, and sometimes when you color
correct,
correct,
you have like 200 pages of these to turn out.
Yeah, you'd be in a lot of trouble.
So, like, do you see the pros of going digital here, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think a smart artist would go naturally and digital. I think like one good technique is to take like a drawing done with the pencil and then coloring it digitally. Like that's one way to integrate the technical aspects with the traditional aspects. And you see a lot of concept art, in Hollywood for movies like Marvel and DC movies.
Right.
They do that kind of thing. But I mean, like I said, I think it depends on the artist. Some artists prefer more conservative means, more traditional. Some artists are all digital.
And for the fear or phobia of going digital, they would actually start using scanning and all that, right? They would.
Yeah, I mean, like I guess the safest artists will go after both means, do both digital and both pencil.
Depends on what works, right?
Yeah, I mean, because like paper gets damaged, boom, like it gets old over time.
And you can't make multiple copies unless you scan it in, and then
you can't undo. You can't. Yeah. But then
you can undo by like erasing it, right? But then it damages the paper itself, right?
Exactly.
Like,
so I mean,
the more you go over the same spot, right?
Yeah, you start to damage it. But I mean, with digital, you can crash your computer and lose all your files too. So
that's true, right? So.
I mean, there's pros and cons with everything. It's a great tool, man. Like a lot of people complain, like, oh, I hate, the digital world. I hate technology, blah blah blah. Like, it's another tool. It's another pencil. It's a more complex pencil. It's supposed to make the artist's life easier. And I think it does. I think like any other brush or tool or piece of clay or anything, you can get used to it and get better. And it's digital. If you back it up, you'll have your
precision?
files.
Can you tell about precision? I mean,
precision.
Do you get precision with the digital approach compared to the traditional?
My precision is getting better as I go. Like I noticed, like I've only been here for like maybe 30 minutes,
right?
And already like I'm getting more used to it.
Hi, my name's Alexis Negron. I'm 31 and I'm a graphic designer. It takes a while to kind of get used to it because you're not looking at when you look down. There's no image,
right?
So you kind of have to
like you
orient yourself.
You're saying it's kind of unnatural in a way. But is it easy to adapt?
I think it's easy to adapt. But then again, like I'm kind of used to graphic programs. I can imagine someone who really has no experience using the computer. Yeah, having trouble doing this because it is kind of challenging to know where you are or where you leave off.
Have you used digital approaches before?
Not for sketching, more for like graphic work and or maybe finishing off a drawing and like scanning it in for archival purposes. I know a lot of comic book artists who use Wacom tablets. It's easier for them to to ink and color their panels. I actually want a Wacom tablet, but I can't afford one yet. I'm waiting for the prices to come down a little bit.
Speaking of prices, how much do you think this one goes?
Maybe, I don't know, $300.
Does digital approach improve the quality of artists' life?